Hollow points have owned the self-defense conversation for a long time. But here in 2026, I'm watching more and more gun owners move away from them. Not because hollow points suddenly got bad, it's because something flat out more capable is showing up in carry guns. After seeing real-world testing, and especially the barrier demos, I stopped asking myself, should I switch? And I started asking, why didn't I do this sooner? What's up, everyone? It's your boy Tommy from the Armory. And today we're digging into the real reason shooters, instructors, and even off-duty cops are stepping away from hollow points, and what's replacing them in carry pistols all over the country. Before we jump in, I'd honestly appreciate it if you'd hit those buttons down below. Subscribe, ring the notification bell, all of it. You don't have to, but those little clicks help a brother out, and it keeps pushing me to put more valuable car-related content on your screen. Now buckle up, let's get back to it. Solid copper hollow points. I was running a Glock 19 with a threaded barrel and a KKM comp. I was grouping at 15 yards with Barnes TAC-X PD, 115 grain plus P, tight groups, clean cycling, and after 50 rounds, 0 barrel fouling. That's the moment it clicked for me. Copper hollow points weren't just some boutique ammo trend. These things are built with purpose. Unlike the usual lead core jacketed hollow points, solid copper hollow points like Barnes TAC-X PD, Black Hills, Honey Badger, and Remington HTP copper. They're cut from one solid piece of copper, one slug. No jacket separating, no core coming apart, no lead to smear, deform, or shear off when it smacks a barrier. The big win here is simple: weight retention and repeatable performance through barriers. Copper is harder. It holds its shape when pressures spike, so these loads can push through auto glass and steel without turning into a mess. In gel testing with 4-layer denim and laminated windshield glass, Barnes keeps doing the same thing. It'll penetrate about 12 to 14 inches while still fully expanding. That's right on the FBI standard, without the classic jacket and core problems you see with traditional hollow points. And the TSC XPD opens up into 6 sharp petals. It's basically slicing tissue instead of just shoving through it. They're also suppressor friendly. Traditional ammo and suppressed pistols can stack lead fouling fast. Solid copper runs cleaner, and it'll go longer before your can needs a bath. If you're serious about a defensive pistol setup, especially if you're running an optic or a can, solid copper hollow points are absolutely worth your time. But copper hollow points are only one piece of this new ammo wave, because the next category doesn't expand at all, and it still beats a lot of classic carry loads. Let's move into fluted solids. I remember watching a Lehigh Defense Extreme Defense round rip through ballistic gel behind auto glass. And the thing didn't expand. No mushroom, no petals, just a fluted copper slug cutting a cavity like a drill bit. That's when I realized something important. Some of the best performing defensive ammo today does not rely on expansion. Fluted solids like Lehigh Extreme Defense and Extreme Penetrator are CNC machined from solid copper, just like the solid copper hollow points we talked about. But the secret sauce here is the shape, the geometry. These bullets use a fluid dynamic effect. Those flutes shove soft tissue outward at speed, creating a big permanent cavity and a nasty temporary cavity too. Think controlled turbulence inside the target. That means you still get consistent disruption, even when hollow points clog up and refuse to open. They also run great in micro compacts. No sharp cavity edge, no hollow point mouth to snag on a feed ramp. So they're a strong match for pistols like the SIG P365, Glock 43X, or the Springfield Hellcat. And since they don't expand, penetration stays predictable, usually around 16 to 18 inches through FBI-style barriers like denim, plywood, and autoglass. That's not vibes. That's calibrated gel data and third-party testing. Another big advantage, they're legal in restrictive states. Hollow point restrictions in places like New Jersey don't hit these the same way because there's no hollow cavity. This isn't some loophole gimmick. It's an entirely different class of defensive ammo. Up next, we're talking about ammo that flips the script, literally. Tumble-on-impact ammo. A buddy of mine was running Fort Scott TUI out of his Glock 19X during a private shoot house session. Every shot through soft barriers looked clean on the way in. But the terminal effect was messy, in the best way. Tumble-on impact rounds aren't built to expand. They're not trying to mushroom. Instead, the moment they hit tissue, they destabilize. They yaw. They rotate end over end. And they tear up the inside far more chaotically than a straight, clean wound channel ever will. Fort Scott Munitions TUI is the big name here. These are solid copper projectiles designed to fly stable, but engineered to lose that stability once they hit something soft. Flesh, ballistic gel, even synthetic tissue. They're not fragmenting, they're not fluted, they're not mushrooming. But the damage is dramatic. Gel tests show deep penetration, around 12 to 18 inches, depending on barrel length. And the wound path goes off-axis in a severe way. The tumbling usually starts around 2 to 3 inches in. That's right where it matters most. And here's the real-world value for carry. Short barrels, micro-compacts. A lot of those guns struggle to push enough velocity to make hollow points expand consistently. With TUI, speed matters less. These rounds tumble because of geometry and impact, not just raw kinetic energy. They also feed really well, so they're appealing in finicky guns like single-stack .380 pistols or snub revolvers. Legally, they're also carry-safe in places that restrict hollow points. That matters if you're an urban carrier who might cross into places like New Jersey or Hawaii. Now, if you're still a believer in classic expansion, but you want something tougher and more dependable, we're about to get into bonded jacketed hollow points and why they're the bridge between old school design and modern performance. Bonded jacketed hollow points. I was helping a buddy Zero, a SIG P229. He was running 147 grain Federal Tactical bonded. The group was tight, sure, but accuracy wasn't the part that grabbed me. What stood out was how that round stayed together through everything we threw at it. Bonded jacketed hollow points are where traditional ammo gets some real muscle. These still expand, but the jacket and the lead core are fused together. So even after punching through metal, auto glass, or drywall, they don't come apart. If you've ever watched a normal jacketed hollow point peel open and drop its jacket in gel, you already know how fast that ruins the wound channel. Bonded hollow points fix that. Top performers like Federal Tactical Bonded, Spear Gold G2, and Remington Golden Saber Bonded. They're built to meet or beat FBI testing, especially in the nasty barrier stuff, like laminated windshield glass, and they deliver. Consistent expansion, and about 90 to 100% weight retention, even when the bullet has to chew through hard material first. They're still hollow points on paper, so they don't slide past restrictions in places like New Jersey. But there's a reason law enforcement agencies trust them nationwide. If you want expansion, and you expect cars, fences, or structural cover to be part of your environment, bonded jacketed hollow points are your workhorse. Unlike solid copper hollow points or fluted solids, bonded loads aren't trying to reinvent the bullet. They're trying to build the most reliable version of what already worked. Now let's switch gears into a totally different category. Ballistic tip ammo. One of the smoothest feeding rounds I've ever run through my Springfield XDS was Hornady Critical Defense 1 15 grain FTX. Clean chambering, no nosedives, no feed ramp hangups. That's where ballistic tip ammo earns its keep. It was designed from the start for concealed carry pistols, especially the ones that don't always love wide-mouth hollow points. Ballistic tip ammo uses a polymer insert inside the hollow cavity, and it does two jobs. First, it gives the nose a more streamlined shape, better feeding, especially in short-barreled semi-autos. Second, when it hits the target, that polymer tip gets driven back into the bullet, and it triggers expansion fast and reliably, without getting clogged up by clothing, fabric, or debris. Hornady's FTX, that flex tip expanding design, is the big dog here. You'll see it in both critical defense and critical duty. Which one you pick depends on your priority: civilian self-defense or barrier performance that leans into FBI specs. In testing, critical defense expands reliably even after heavy denim or leather. Critical duty takes it further with interlock bands and tougher jackets. It's tuned for barrier-blind performance. That's a strong fit for duty and security folks. You'll typically see 12 to 15 inches of penetration, with near-perfect expansion again and again. Another advantage: Ballistic tip ammo is easier to find, and it usually costs less than the exotic copper or fluted stuff. So it's a solid upgrade over old-school jacketed hollow points. Without diving straight into boutique pricing, if your pistol is picky with hollow points, this can fix feeding and performance in one move. Now let's pivot into something built specifically for close quarters and indoor defense. Frangible ammo. I was running a shoot house in a concrete bay, tight angles, steel targets. And I'll tell you straight, center fire frangible gave me real peace of mind. No splashback, less ricochet risk, and fewer worries about overpenetration. That's exactly where frangible ammo lives. This stuff isn't about barrier-blind performance. It's not about the biggest wound cavity. It's about limiting collateral risk in tight, high-consequence environments. Frangible rounds are made from compressed metal powder, usually a copper and tin blend pressed into shape, sometimes jacketed. Here's the defining feature. When they hit something hard like steel, brick, or concrete, they break down into powder, but when they hit soft tissue, they stay together just long enough to penetrate about 9 to 12 inches. Then they start coming apart. That makes them a strong choice for home defense, especially apartments, especially shared walls, especially when neighbors are one sheet of drywall away. Ammo like centerfire, Liberty Civil Defense, and Winchester frangible lead-free lines. They're getting popular with home carriers who want to cut the risk of pass-through shots or punching through multiple interior walls. Liberty's stuff is ultra-light and screaming fast. Think 50 grain, 9 mil at 2,000 feet per second. You get an immediate energy dump, but you give up some depth to get that. And that trade matters. These are not the rounds you pick for barrier shooting or outdoor defense situations where you may need deeper penetration. But if you're protecting a small home, a shared dwelling, or you've got kids sleeping down the hall, frangible ammo can give you an edge in controlling terminal risk. And lastly, hybrid loads. I got to test some Lehigh controlled chaos through a buddy's AR pistol setup. Not your typical carry rig. But what caught my attention was how that bullet behaved. It pushed in like a solid, then it fragmented after a few inches in gel. That's not classic expansion. That's engineered failure, on purpose. And it's part of a new generation of hybrid defensive ammo that's changing the old rules. These loads don't fit cleanly into the jacketed hollow point box or the monolithic solid box. Some are fragmenting solids like controlled chaos. Others use multi-core designs with internal cavities that split under pressure. The concept is straightforward. Delay fragmentation until the bullet is inside soft tissue. That creates major internal disruption, while still keeping the 12 to 18 inches of penetration needed for FBI standards. It's almost surgical. Another tech that's starting to show up is pressure-based expansion. Bullets that bloom when they hit a specific resistance threshold. Think adaptive expansion based on velocity and what the bullet is passing through. This stuff is still early stage, but manufacturers are clearly chasing something more responsive than a static design. Some companies are even playing with multi-material blends, copper plus polymer, directional fragmentation. And yeah, a lot of these loads are still niche or pricey, but they're pointing to something bigger. Defensive ammo is moving toward intelligent behavior, not just brute force. So where does that leave traditional hollow points? For me, they're still on the board, but they're getting pushed out more and more. Because the newer options aren't really about expansion anymore. They're about control, consistency, and barrier-proof versatility. And that's where your carry choice should be heading. Towards something that performs when it counts, no matter the conditions.